Let's start off in a nice, strong front position. Good. Everybody show respect up front. And then if you can figure out the angle a little bit. For some reason, it was working better in the back. There we go. There, now you can see feet. Everybody go ahead. Bow. Step out. Let's take our 3 big deep breaths in. And up. All right. So to get ourselves moving today, I want to start with the jumping jack idea. We're going to use our jump switches to get the legs warmed up. So we're going to start with our legs apart. And our feet are going to come together, but we're going to turn to one side with our guard. We're going to switch to the other side. So in, out puts me to the right. In, out puts me to the left. We're going to do 20 of these. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now we're going to add to it. We're going to do 3 levels. This is level 1. Here's level 2. So the same motion, but as we turn, we're going to bend that back knee. Notice I'm not bending my back, and my front knee doesn't bend past my foot. It stays straight up and down, foot over my knee over my ankles. So part 2 now, we've got open with the bend, open, bend, close, bend. 20 more. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Shake that out. We still have 1 more level, level 3. Everybody take 3 quick deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Last level. So my back leg, the leg that's bending, I'm going to throw a punch on my bend. When I come back to the center, both my hands are going to be up in my guard, my little tank guard. And then when I turn the other side and bend that knee, my other arm's going to punch. Last 20, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Come on back up. So we're going to go right from here. Now that the legs are all loose, we're going to get some of our strikes out from our horse stance. Let's start with some open hand strikes today. Let's do some chops. The chops I want to work on today aren't going to start from the outside. They're going to start from the inside. So these are going to be cross hand judo chops. We're going to go across our body like we had an itch on the other side of our head. And then that chop goes out to the neck. On both sides, we go cross, chop, cross, chop. There's your cross hand chop. Ready? Here we go. Big breaths, nice strong horse stances, big ki eyes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to take chops and we're going to go to the midsection. We're going to go a little bit different today. Primarily, we start with those chops to soft targets up towards the neck. For this one, we're going to go to the ribs. So the ribs, once again, are those bones that protect our chest and our back, keeping our lungs, our heart safe. And we're going to use the very bottom of those for our targets, or just underneath, right where it gets soft. If you take the side of your hand and you tap there, you can feel that target. Very good target. So for this one, if you watch from the side here, almost like I'm holding a pizza tray, or I'm flinging a frisbee. We're going to get those cross-hand chops. And for these, let's use that second hand. So we can go in and we can chop with these just by pulling our arms back. But we're going to put one hand up on check on this one. And we're just going to work on that chop with the check. Reset, chop with the check. Those of you who worked on parting wings may recognize this as your second move. Ready? Here we go. We're going to get that left hand up and just that right hand chopping into the ribs. And 1, reset, 2, reset, 3, 4, 5, 6, using the hips, 7, breathing, 8, 9, 10. And if you notice, if you watch from the side, I'm going to pull that check back just as hard as I'm sending that chop out. I'm not hitting myself really hard. I'm just bringing it back to the body. Now, let's put that right hand out. Let's work that left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Shake those out. Let's open those hands again. Let's work some palm strikes. So we're going to start low today. We're going to start with some groin strikes with the palm. We're going to take these and they're going to rise. As they rise, I'm going to pull my fingers down and away so that the heel of the palm is hitting low. I'm also going to drop my stance in order to make that target into the groin. Just like all my palms, I have to make sure that my fingers are together, that I'm pulling them back. I don't want to let my hand curve into a cup. I want to keep it flat like a board, and I want to bend that thumb down on the side. All right, here we go. Palm strikes to the groin. Big key eyes, use those hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake those out. All right. So we're gonna go back to our exercises again. Make sure our bodies are moving on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon with the sun out. Let's get some drills. Let's work some arms. Good
arm drills. Let's work through our start walking set.
All right.
So let's do this one today, guys. First time we do it, let's do it with a lot of tension. I want to imagine that you're trying to push through heavy sand with every walk that we do. Okay? So
right now I'm going to watch. Miss Carrie's going to do the drill, and I'm gonna guide you a little bit.
Okay. Here we go.
So right now, her fist, she's squeezing her fist as hard as she can. Her forearm muscles tight, her biceps tight, her stomach muscles are tight, even her leg muscles are tight. Everything is engaged right now. That's why it's moving so slow. And we're gonna keep all that. Yep. Statue tight muscles. Squeeze all those muscles. Here's how you can get a workout without even doing weights. And we're matching our breath with it. Just the same with those slow breaths in and out. Still squeezing. I'm squishing those grapes in my hand. I'm digging my feet into the ground. Making holes in the dirt. Good. I'm lifting that heavy object with my block. I'm lifting those bricks. I'm opening that metal door with my block. I'm closing that heavy metal door. Now I'm pulling down the curtain, but it's made of lead. I'm starting the lawnmower, but the cord's rusty. And I'm pushing that button that's made for a giant. Good. Now we got to double it up. Same thing. Lift up that log with both your arms as a log. You got to tighten everything up. Lower that log back down. Split it apart with your muscle strength. Good. Part that boulder with your downward blocks. Now we're going to pull 2 rusty lawnmower cords. Now we're going to press 2 giant buttons. Good. Now shake that out. All right. Just in case we didn't get those arms good enough on that one, we're going to do our open and close drills. Now, every single time we do this, you're going to have a tomato in your hand and you're going to squish it the whole way. That's how much you want to squeeze. And then you're going to open it up as big as you can and fling all that tomato juice out there. So every time we count, we're going to squish it and fling it. Here we go. We're going to start with our hands out front. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Swishing and flinging. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Halfway up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time halfway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Shake those out. Squeeze those forearms. Get that soreness out. There you go. Now, we're going to do a little exercise. We're going to burn those upper arms a little bit, and we're going to work on some speed. So I want everybody to think of a locomotive train and that arm on the side, except we're going to run that locomotion in reverse, and we're going to do both arms. Now for this exercise, let's turn our palms up, like if we were doing curls, bicep curls, that'd be the shape of our arms. And so we're gonna do 3 speeds. We're gonna do super slow motion, and see how I'm turning my hips with it? We're gonna go medium, and then we're gonna go high speed. Ready? And slow motion. Get that circle. Get those hips moving. And medium, here we go. A little bit faster, make sure those hips are working. This is almost like our burnout with our steps. Fast motions. Fast as you can. Turn that circle, turn that circle, turn that circle, medium. Slow. Medium. Slow. Fast. Fast, fast, fast. Slow. One more time, we're going to climb that mountain of speed. Medium. Fast. Go. Let it out, 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 let it out. And good. All right. Quick stretch. So, let's take our left hand up and over. Pull it to the side. Let that pull your whole body sideways. Back up. Let that same arm come across. Pull your shoulder. Pull your arm to your chest. Not to where it hurts, just to where you feel those muscles start to stretch out a little. And down. Right up and over. Give it a pull. Use your breathing, good time to slow down your breath. And over, cross, good. Use that breath. And down, good. Work the neck just a little bit, look to the right, look to the left, right, left, yes. That's our yes movement, up and down, and around, and switch. Good, everybody put your feet together, reach down, try to touch your toes. A little bit of bend in the back is okay, a little bit of bend in the knees is all right, but I want to try to keep my legs mostly straight, otherwise I'm not getting any of that stretch. You can only reach your ankles, that's okay. As long as you're feeling that stretch in the legs, if you need to go a little bit further, you can always walk down to the floor. You can always try to flatten your hands on the floor. I can't get there yet. I'm pretty good right here at my toes today. Good. Let's take our one foot, doesn't matter which one. We're going to cross over our other foot. We're going to do that same stretch. You should feel this on one leg more than the other. Oh yeah. This is always a really strong stretch for me. I always feel it right away. Now we're going to switch legs, get a chance to work that other leg. Reach, reach, reach. Good. Now, walk those legs out a little bit. Let's straighten them. I'm not going as wide as I can right now, because I want to try to keep my back straight on this one, just like I would a plank. Think of getting long up through that, like a room to pull you upwards. From here, I'm going to cross my arms, and I'm just going to let gravity pull me over as far as it'll let me. I'm going to live here for a second. I might rock a little bit from side to side and get some stretch in my hips and my hamstrings behind each leg. I might rock back and forth, get a little stretch in the groin. Now I'm going to let my hands dangle down. I'm going to walk in just a little bit, and I'm going to let the back stack up on top of itself. One little bone piece at a time. Straight up to the top. All right, let's come back up to those blocks. I want to take that start blocking set that Ms. Carey just let us in, and I'm going to look at those open hands again. Really cool. We don't get a chance to look at this in our class a lot, but we have another way of exploring all of our blocks, and that's with an open hand. These are called knife hand blocks, and what I'm essentially doing is I'm using the shudo, the sword of my hand, for the point of my blocks. Now, what would this be for, you might ask? If you look, that bone right there in your hand is a lot sharper than the bone in your arm. So there's a chance to really sting on that first block, and that might be the end of your technique that you need right there. But it takes some precision. Just like in a sword hand chop, I don't want to hit with the fingers, not very strong. So let's go back, let's take a set that we all know. Let's take our start blocking set, and we're going to explore some knife hand blocks the whole way through this set. We're going to start with the left arm, and now for this one, I'm going to have my chop open, and I'm going to hit up with that chop. I want the blade of the hand to be where I'm imagining that block to be. Now from here, I still have the same inward. I'm thinking of hitting with that sword. Like I said, not a whole lot's changing. Outward with my chop. Downward chop. Big thought on this one. This is probably going to be more of blocking a punch to the body than catching a kick. I don't want to catch a kick with an open hand. That's one time I usually want to keep it closed. So I've got my chop, my elbow stays the same, and guess what? My pressing palm's already open, so it already fits in there. Now we're going to take that left hand. I've got my knife hand block up. I've got my knife hand block in. I've got my knife hand block out. knife hand down, check, pressing palm. Doubles, we can do the same thing. Double knife, close it. I've got double out. Some of you, once again, we already mentioned this technique once. That's the opening to my parting wings again. Double knife hand down, check, double pressing palm. One more time through, like I said, nothing new, so I don't want to hit that too much, even though it's good to hit all that motion of the start blocking. But we'll see where we can start adding that into our techniques wherever we want and experimenting with our own techniques. So from our horse stance, once again, I've got upward knife hand, inward knife hand. Make sure you're keeping that structure. Don't let it curve. Don't let those fingers come apart. Outward knife hand. Downward, check, pressing palm, other hand. Upward knife hand. Inward, outward, downward, check, pressing palm. Let's get those doubles. Upward, inward, outward, downward, check, pressing palm. All right, so now, if you're a white belt, you've used all of your blocks in a technique. If you're a yellow belt and up, you have plenty of different places you can experiment with your knife hand block. Let's look at two places that are really simple to adapt it, and that's off of a hook punch or a straight punch. Let's take our sword of destruction, for example. So off of our left hook, we've got an extended outward block. Now, all I have to do is I open that same block up, and now I'm going to practice hitting with that chop. And guess what? It's already in position now for my chop at the end. So if this is a technique we've had it for a while, or even white belts, if you're feeling good with this technique, this is a fun one to play with and start exploring those open hand blocks. So let's look at this one together. I'm going to mirror. I'm going to do the opposite, and I want you to follow on the same side you see me working. So I've got my chop with my check. That's my chopping block. My kick, land with that chop. Pretty straightforward. Let's look at that two more times. 1, 2, 3. Good. Not much of a difference between my closed hand. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Now, slight variation on that. Let's take our shielding hammer that we've been working in our classes. Same attack. I've got my closed hand outward block, turns into my hammer for yellows going to orange belt, and finish with my elbow. Let's look at that open hand now. I have the same sword hand block. I could close this back up, but I could also turn this into my tiger's claw. There's a good place for my tiger's claw, and I can still finish with that elbow. So now we have open hand techniques that we're subbing out for our closed hand technique. Open, open, there's my elbow. Let's look at that real quick together. So same first block. I step back on that block. I'm going to claw across now, and I'm going to elbow in. Here we go. Step back and block, claw, elbow. Last one. Block, claw, elbow. Good. So those were two ideas off of our circles. Before we get into our straight lines, I think we need to mix it up with one more exercise. And set it off. Let's carry it.
All right, we're going to do our 10, 10s, and 10s, guys, to get our bodies going again. We're going to start with squats, then we're going to go down, we're going to do our favorite water pumps, then we're going to do our crunches.
All right.
There we go, working the whole body. And 1,
Nice and deep.
2,
Make sure you're breathing.
3, keep that back straight.
You got it.
8, 9, 10.
Good. Back on your back. Legs straight. Lift up with the feet. Slow way up. Back down. Breathe out while you lift up.
3,
Don't let those legs hit the ground. 9 and 10.
And crunches.
All right. Just using your abs to pull yourself up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Feeling good after that one. So now it's getting warm out. It might be easier to get a little sweat on. Just remember, sweating is good for you. It's good for your immune system. That's what keeps you healthy, keeps sickness out of your body. It's good for stress whenever you feel cooped up or whenever you feel like your brother or sister or mom or dad are getting on your nerves. One way to get that out is with some exercise. Let's release all of that stress. So now let's get back into our technique ideas before we do a little review on our theme of the week, and let's explore those straight punches, which are our normal reaction that we want to apply in the best case scenario is our inward block on the outside that gives us an angle of cancellation. So off of our straight line punch here, here's my inward block. I want to make sure, just to go back and review, I want to catch above the elbow for the finish of the block. What I'm essentially going to do is I'm going to hit it before then, and it's going to slide up. We call that riding up. Now, here's my angle of cancellation. Her other weapon's over there. She already has an arm in the way that she has to get past in order to get back to that block. That's why this is my best case scenario for the block. Once again, only difference now is I'm going to open up that chopping block, and I'm going to use my shudo to get in there and execute the block. For our attack, I'm going to give you 2 different options today. Both of them, you might know the rest of the technique, and the question is, can I do the full technique? Absolutely, you can. We're just going to look at actually, you know what? Let's do a chop today, since we worked on our chop to the ribs, and let's work on an elbow, since we've been throwing a lot of elbows today as well. So first is going to be our chop. I've got my block. I'm going to use my forward bow to chop right into the ribs there. Let's turn the other angle to open that up a little bit. I've got my sword block, and I'm going to take my chop right into the ribs. Now, let's see that. We're all going to face the same direction there. This one really isn't a technique. I'm borrowing from our yellow belt mace of aggression, which is open hand, and I'm also borrowing from parting wings. Oh man, I can use that off of a punch? Absolutely. I just have to adapt it a little bit. So we've got our knife hand block. Now I'm going to use my forward bow to chop with my check. And if you look, this is the same position that I end up in that second move in parting wings. Let's take that again. I've got block, chop with my check. One more. Block, chop with my check. Now, all we're going to do for our second one, we're just going to stay facing you. We're just going to switch that second weapon to an elbow. Now, here's a question for you. Why would I use the chop or the punch in one instance and the elbow in the other? And the answer is something we worked on in class last week, which is range. If I'm farther away, I need to extend my weapon. If I'm closer, I collapse that weapon. All right, let's look at those blocks with our elbows now. So I've got step back, sword hand block, elbow, roundhouse elbow. Good. I've got step and block, elbow. One more. Step and block, elbow. Nice work. All right. So right now we got a little bit of time to catch our breaths and go back and review our theme of the week which is patience. And patience, basically enough, is your ability to wait. Now, why is this a good thing? One, even if I'm talented, even if karate is natural to me, or I'm really good at basketball or other arts like music or math, it takes a lot of fine-tuning to become a master at anything and really get to the top of my potential of what I'm capable of. But that takes a long, long time. It took me 8 years to get to my black belt. That's almost a decade. That's almost 10 years of life. And a lot of people can say, I don't want to work that long. But some of the best things that you can accomplish for yourself take time. And so that is one thing, developing yourself, developing a skill set. Two is having a happy and healthy life. There's different things in our lives that can give us anger or stress, make us worry. And if we can give ourselves time to just wait and live in ourselves and in our breath, meditation is great for this. It's a good way of dealing with that besides the exercise. Exercise and taking time out to just be with yourself for a second. Patience with others. So I might be at the house, my brother might bump into me, my sister might bump into me, they might be poking at my buttons to try to get a reaction because they know how to get those reactions. I always have a choice of two different directions. If I get mad and irritable really quick and I react in a way with my temper, either with my voice or with my hands, I'm probably gonna get in trouble and I might end up hurting my brother or sister, even if it's on accident. If I can have patience and deal with it with a calm mind and reason, I'm gonna have a much better way of solving that situation. This comes with adults too. Adults deal with the same thing. We have traffic, which can make us angry. We have to wait in lines for almost everything. You're gonna learn about the DMV once you get your driver's license, and it is not a fun experience. But that is, it's not just a karate lesson, it's a whole life lesson that you can apply to every different part of your life. Is being able to just be here and now. Don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future, just settle here and live where you're at. And before we hop back up, I know everybody's getting a little bit antsy to move again. I want you to find a spot where you are. Right now, I'm comfortably on my knees. If that's not comfortable for you, you can sit crisscross. You can sit on a chair or couch. I don't want you laying down. Or you can stand in your horse stance. And we're just gonna take 1 minute to close our eyes and breathe. That's all I want you to do. Big deep breaths in through the nose. Big deep breaths out through the mouth. Try to keep your eyes closed because this is to help practice this patience. We don't want any other side influences. We're starting with ourselves. We need to be patient with ourselves. It's a lot easier to be patient with others. And if thoughts come into your head, that's okay. Just recognize them as thoughts. Come back to the breathing. Just the breath in and out. This is a big test. It's not easy to sit still and do nothing. Our brain wants to think, wants to move. When our brain wants to think, wants to move, our body wants to move with it. Which animal is the focus of that patience? The crane. The crane, when it hunts for its lunch, can perch at the edge of the river or the lake. Stand there on one foot, fooling the fish or the snakes that are in the river or the lake into thinking that it's a tree. But if it moves, it's going to spook them. So it has to make absolutely sure that they're close enough for the bill to snatch, and then it grabs its food and it leaves. Last 10 seconds. Come back to your breathing. Good, go ahead, open your eyes. Everybody, come on back up. All right. So, let's go back to those open hands that we were just working on. Let's get a couple more techniques in today. But before we do that, I want to add a little bit of a patience exercise. This isn't going to be as fast as we've been doing, but your goal is to use your mind, stay focused with us, and be patient with the whole movement. Why don't we do this? Why don't you face that way and do the normal side? I'm going to do left side. So we have two different views here. Even if you know the salutation, do not go ahead of what you see on screen. That's also another challenge, is try to stay with me. Try to listen to my breathing. I'm really going to exaggerate it and use it as a breathing exercise as well as a movement exercise. Now, before we go again, I really did need to go that slow because I'm translating that technique on the left side. But through the trust in myself, in my training, and letting my brain figure it out before I take my next step, I'm also helping train that pathway again so that every time I do it, it's going to get stronger. And the more specific I do it, the more specific I'm going to remember it. Let's do that 2 more times, really focusing on the breathing again. Good, last time. Once again, if you feel like you want to move, try to bring yourself back into what you're working on. Slow down your breath, just exist where we are, not ahead, not behind, not what we did, not what we're going to do, but what we're doing right now. All right, good. So now for a little bit of the end here, I'm going to work we're still going to work our technique, but I want to work some patience, and then I'm going to give you the chance to explode with some speed. So first, we're going to do slow motion kicks. Painfully slow, excruciatingly slow. And I want you to try to maintain every single part without speeding up. We're going to do 3 slow, 3 medium, and 3 fast. And here's the real trick. When we go fast, I want you to be just as specific and as perfect as when you did them slow. All right. So let's start. our left neutral bows, we're going to do right front ball kicks. 3 super slow motion. Like someone hit almost time freeze. Knee comes the whole way up. Check yourself every step. Are you showing your ball in your foot? Are you going back? Is your back straight? Is your back leg bent on your guard up? 2. Don't speed up. It's tempting. It's tempting to just go fast. But I'm going to challenge you that you can actually learn just as much, sometimes more, when you try to go as slow as you can, not as fast as you can. And 3. Out, back in, up, back down. All right, here's our mediums. Still not fast. We're still going to take this slow. Up, out, in, down. 2, up, out, in, down. 3, up, out, in, down. Now here's our fast. Try to keep just as much specifics as you did, technically sound, as you did for the slow. 1, 2, 3. Good. Switch those legs. Here we go again. Now, if you ever find your mind wandering away, this is how you use meditation. When your mind started to wander, and I said, if you had a thought, come back to your breathing. Well, our breathing now incorporates all of our karate movement. So if my brain starts going, what's for lunch? What am I doing after this? I'm going to say that's a thought, and I'm going to come back into my breathing and my moving and what I'm working on now. But I'm practicing that patience again. Here we go. Slow motion. Up. Super slow. Back in. And back down. We're practicing, we're pretending we just took a potion that slows down time. 2. And out. Yep, everybody is that action movie star right now. We're getting to see move in slow motion. And 3. Boom, kicking through that wall. Pow, back down. Now, medium speed. We're still going to break down each part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That makes 3 of them. Now we're going to do it fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Shake that out. Shake, 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 shake. All right. So now, let's work a little bit of that with the hands. Let's take a full technique that opens those open hands, and we're going to do it super, super slow. 3, 3, and 3. The technique I'm going to pull today, since we already used some of the blocks that we were working on, those open hands is going to be parting wings. This is on our purple belt sheet, off of a push. So just to see what this looks like, I'm going to let Ms. Carey show the technique I'm going to attack in for. So I'm going to come up and I'm trying to push, pop, 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 bam. Let's open it up the other way just to get another view on it. And oh, nice work. So really, the only closed hand we use is that Phoenix fist at the end of this one, which I can also do as either a vertical punch, or I can get that middle knuckle out that we worked on before. So Part number one. I'm gonna mirror you guys once again, so follow the same side that you see moving backwards. Here's that knife hand block, slow motion. Slow motion forward, bow into the chop, like into a super slow motion explosion. Fast motion is gonna be easy. Neutral, chop, check, and I'm gonna do the Phoenix knuckle this time. And back out. Let's do a slow motion, cross, out, back up. All right, two more. One. Imagine that push coming in really slow. You got your spider sense that makes you see it slow and react. Outward blocks. Slow motion forward. This gives you a chance to look at every different part of your body. Are the hips turning forward? Is your back heel down? Are you using the right part of the chop? Is that check across? Slow chop. Slow check down and thread over top of that arm back into that forward. And slow cross. Last one. Slow motion. Back. Knife hand part. Forward. Chop and check. Neutral. Chop. Forward. Check. And Phoenix. And cross out. Now let's speed that up just a little bit 3 times. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, out. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. Now, for a little bit of challenge and a little bit of speed. If you can only go as fast as the first one, guess what? You're still doing awesome. You're getting an incredible amount of learning off of being able to go that slow. I try to do everything that I have to learn that slow when I'm first learning it. Even when I've already learned it, it's a great mental and physical workout. All right, now full speed, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, out. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now, that brings us almost to the end. I'm going to bring up all the screens because here's the challenge to finish class. Did 100 front 2 knuckle punches last week. Now, since we did open hands today, we're going to do 100 palm strikes. Oh, yeah. So everybody get in your horse stance. I'm going to be watching. I want you to count them out best you can. If you lose count, that's okay. With your biggest key eye on 100. Everybody get in your horse stance and get ready, get set. Palm strike, go, send them out. Yes. Nice Max, nice Nicole, Damien, Milo, nice, good Milo, buddy. Guys.
Come on, Wolf.
Nice, Gonzalo. We're doing 100 palm strikes, Wolf. Let them out.
100 palm strikes, Wolf.
Gonzalo's still going, yeah. Mari's pumping them out. If my face was up there, my face would be squished already there, Mari. Nice, Finn. Nice, Felix. Make sure you're pulling those fingers back. Now we're going, Wolf. Good, guys. And once you finish, back up into a nice, strong front position. Nice work. All right, we just got a couple more finishing up. Felix, I like that you're taking the time and you're actually going through there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, guys. All right. That brings us to the end here. Awesome work today. Remember today at 4, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do purple belt technique, stand on up. I know, Mari, we didn't get a chance to feed you some new stuff last time. We're going to feed you some stuff this week. But first, everybody come on up. Nice, strong front position. Show respect. Awesome. Step out. Take your breaths. Remember to come back to that breath. Back to that present sensation in yourself. Back to that patience. Patience is a form of kindness. And up. All right.